Hi, Ms. Brown. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm Elena. I'm going to be your occupational therapist for today.
All right.
Okay, so before we get started, I'm just going to wash my hands. Do you have any questions for me?
What is OT?
So as an occupational therapist, it's actually my job to kind of get you back to be as independent as possible in things that you do on a day-to-day basis, as well as the things that mean the most to you. So I know you love to garden, so we want to get you back in being able to do that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But today we're going to be working on range of motion, which we would be using these like 2 goniometers. Now what that means is essentially we're measuring how much movement you have at a certain joint. So if we measure the shoulder, we see how much movement you have in both directions. And the purpose of this is because we want to make sure you have enough movement to do some of your activities that you do on a day-to-day basis, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any other questions before we get started?
No.
Okay. Okay, great. So can you stand up, or are you
Sure.
okay to stand up? Okay. So we're going to first work on shoulder range of motion. So to get started, I just want you to, is there any way you can possibly move this way towards me? Perfect. Okay.
All right.
Now, all I want you to do is lift your shoulder up as high as you can, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Can you just move this way a little bit so the
Mhm.
camera... Okay. Go ahead. Okay, good. 135. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to do extension, so the same thing, but just move your arm back, okay, as far as you can. Go ahead. Great, 45. All right, awesome. Okay, so now we're going to be doing a deduction. So essentially what that means is, if you don't mind, I'm going to have you turn this way so we can see a little bit easier. But I just kind of want you to make like a snow angel and go up like that, okay?
Okay.
I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. All right, good. 75. All right, so now I want you to face me if you can. All right, if you can face me. I just want to see if maybe we can go like this. Okay. So we're going to do internal rotation. So I'm going to have you put your arms to your sides, have your elbows kind of like bent like this, and I'm going to put this underneath. Okay. All right. So now, and then I just want you to move this one as close to your belly as you can. Okay? This is internal rotation. Go ahead. Okay. All right, good. About 50 degrees, good. All right. Okay. We're going to do the same thing, but you're just going to go out now, okay? I will tell you when I'm ready. So make sure that's sitting on top. Okay, now you can go out for me. Good. All right, so that's 35. All right, so I just want to, before we get started on the next one, you do have some limitations in your shoulders, so we're going to have to do a little bit more treatment in that area. This will, because of the limitation in your shoulder, you might not be able to reach, for a glass up in the top shelf as easily, or, maybe even pull a wagon behind you. So those are just some things that you functionally might have limitations with, okay? All right, so now we're going to go into the elbow. So let's go. I'm going to have you turn here so the camera can see. All right, so I'm going to, just going to have you relax for a little bit. Okay, so all I want you to do is essentially I want you to bend your arm up to your shoulder as far as you can. All right, good. All right, that's about 125. Now we're going to just do the same thing. I just want you to extend it, though. All right, so you're not fully extended. That's okay. You're about 10 degrees off. All right, so now we're going to do some supination and pronation. So I'm going to actually have you use this here to bend your elbow at a 90-degree angle so we can get more of an accurate measurement. So we're going to actually be using this goniometer now. So we're going to first, I want you to just have your hand kind of in like a neutral position like this. Perfect. Okay, and now I'm just going to place this, and I want you to kind of just put your palm down on the table, okay? Place it. All right. Okay, good. That's about 35. All right, so I'm just going to flip over here now. I'm going to move the camera. Ugh. Okay, now we're going to do supination. It's the same thing, but I just want you to lift your palm up to the sky.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Okay. All right, so you're about 45 degrees, right? Good. Okay, so now we're done with the forearm and the elbow. We're going to do some wrist extension now, wrist flexion and extension. So first we'll do flexion. So essentially what I want you to do is just flex your wrist as much as you can. Are you ready? Okay. Just zero this out. All right, go ahead and flex for me. All right, good. You're about 70. Good. Okay, now we're going to do wrist extension. So can you just flip your palm up? So for extension, all I want you to do is just like that, as much as you can, okay? All right. I'll tell you when to go. Go ahead. The other way, I'm sorry. The other way around. Okay, good. All right, so that's about 50. All right. You can relax. Now we're going to take this. You don't need that anymore. If you need to sit, it might be more comfortable for you. Okay, so now we're going to do something called ulnar deviation. So I just want you to have your hand flat, okay? Now I'm going to go on this other side. It might make it easier for me to measure it. So first I want to just find a bone called a cavitate. So can you go like this for me so I can feel for it? Keep going. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So now I'm going to do first ulnar deviation. So you're essentially going to move your hand towards your pinky, so towards this side.
Okay.
I'll tell you when I'm ready. Okay, you can go. All right, good. All right, so you're about 20 degrees. All right, so now I'm going to flip to this side and I'm going to measure radial deviation. Can you straighten out your hand for me, please? Okay, so now we're going to measure the radial deviation, the same thing, but you're going to be moving towards the thumb, okay? I'll tell you when I'm ready. Okay, go ahead. All right, so you're about 10. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. All right, so now we're on to the thumb. So first off, we're going to just do some MP flexion. So that is with this joint right here. So I just want you to bend this joint as much as you can, okay? So all right, so go ahead. Okay, so you're about 30, so you're a little bit limited there. Normal is about 90 degrees, okay? So we're going to have to work on that a little bit. Okay, now we're going to do, and we're going to see how much you can extend as well on this joint. Okay, perfect, you're at 0. So you can fully extend it. Okay, now we're going to work on palmar abduction. So this one, essentially I'm just measuring to see how much you can put your thumb out towards your palm, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to find, I actually want to, can you do this for me? There's a little like box you can usually see. Yep, okay, perfect. I can see, this is called a snuff box, and that's kind of where I put my landmark.
Okay.
Okay. So if you can raise it up like this again. All right, so can you move it over when you're ready to your palm? Okay. All right, so you're about 15 degrees. All right. Now we're going to do radial abduction, so you can place your hand flat. Same, I'm going to use that snuff box to measure out how far out you're going. And for this one, I want you to see how far out your thumb can go, okay? So, can you flex that?
Yep.
Perfect, okay. Okay, now you can go. So you're about 20 degrees. Perfect. Okay, good. All right, that is a little lacking again. Normal is about 80 degrees. So we're going to have to, work on that one as well. Okay, so now we're going to work on opposition. So I'm essentially going to measure if you can put the palm of or not the palm, but the thumb and then the pinky together, okay? And then I'm going to see how far out you can go, okay? All right, so you are a little bit limited as well because you can't really touch it. So you're about 30 centimeters from touching, okay? All right, last thing, Miss Brown, how you feeling?
Good.
Okay, we're almost done. All right, so now we're going to be working on your middle finger here. So we're first going to do MP flexion. So again, it's like these joints right here. So I want you to just flex it as much as you can, okay? Okay. All right, go ahead. Flex as much as you can. All right, good. You're at about 80. That's pretty normal. You're very close to normal. Normal is about 90. And then we're going to do PIP. So that's this joint right here. So you're going to flex as much as you can. Okay. All right. You're about 70. Okay, that's pretty close. Again, normal is about 90 again. All right, and then I just want to measure extension on that one as well. Okay, you're at 0, which is great. You can extend it fully. Okay, so now we have DIP flexion. So essentially what I want you to do is if you can it's called a claw fist. So just kind of have perfect. Your fingers are just like that. And I'm going to measure this joint right here.
Okay.
All right. Is that as much as you can do? Okay. All right. You're about at 55. Okay, and then now I'm going to just ask you to relax your fingers. I'm going to measure you an extension of that DIP joint. Okay, so you are a little, you're not quite at 0, so you're not fully extended, but it's okay. Okay, and then the last thing we're doing is called his fingertip to distal palmar crease. So what that means is I just want you to do that same kind of thing. If you can see this, it's called the distal palmar crease, this crease right here. I want your fingertips to just kind of get to that line if you can.
Okay.
All right, so you're about at 2 centimeters away, which is all right. We can work on that. So I just want to, you can get it closer. All right, great. All right, so I just want to recap about, what I'm seeing right now. So you do have some limitations. I think your biggest limitations are within that shoulder joint, as I talked to you about some of the activities that might be limited for you. You definitely have some limitations with, your pronation and stuff like that, supination and pronation. Pronation could affect your ability to computer work with your mouse, stuff like that. But with treatment, we can, try to work on those things and make it so it's a lot easier for you to do those activities.
Sounds good.
Okay. You're good?
I'm great. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
Of course. All right. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks.